Hi friends, welcome to our YouTube channel. Very good morning to all my dear students and my dear subscribers and my dear friends. So today's video we are going to discuss the design of columns, that is the next chapter on RCC subject. So we have already completed 10 classes. If you have not visited our playlist, please in the I button I have given the link. You can go through that one and you can see all my previous videos. Okay, and these are all my social medias. You can join from here, and I am very active in the Telegram channel. You can join our Telegram channel, so that if you have any type of doubt you can ask me on the Telegram, and you can ask me in the personal also. I will reply in that one, right? 1 minute. Okay, so the Telegram channel name is Civil with Sudhir, and this is our Facebook page, KPSC Civil AEJ Study Point. If you want, you can join this one also. And this is our YouTube channel, Civil with Sudhir. Make sure you have already clicked on the subscribe button, and please click on the bell icon also to get the latest notification about the different government jobs as well as the related to KPSC. Okay, so today's first question on the columns: which of the following statement is correct? They are asking, they have given four statements. So what is the, which one is correct, we have to find out. Maximum longitudinal reinforcement in axially loaded short column is 6% of cross sectional area, right? So this is the correct one. First one is correct. Columns with circular section are provided transfer reinforcement of helical type only. No, right? For example, if you are providing this, right, so they will provide a ring also, right? They may provide the ring also, or they may provide the helical reinforcement, right, like this, right? So both we can apply according to the condition. So this may not correct. Spacing of lateral cannot be more than 16 times the diameter of the bar, and longitudinal reinforcement bar need not be in contact with the lateral truss. Let me see which are the correct and which one is not correct. So maximum longitudinal reinforcement in axially loaded column is 6% of the gross sectional area, and minimum is 0.8% of gross sectional area. Maximum is which much? How much? 6%, and this is 0.8% minimum. Columns with circular section are mostly provided with transfer helical reinforcement, although they may be provided with the circular stirrup. Just now I already explained you as a transfer reinforcement, but always helical reinforcement is preferred. Okay, so the spacing of lateral cannot be more than 16 times the smallest diameter of the longitudinal reinforcement bar to be tied. Least lateral dimension 300 mm. So this is a three different lateral. So these both are wrong. So only one is a correct answer. Okay. Next, question number 2. Unsupported length of for a column between the end restraint should not exceed the times the least lateral dimension of the column. Right. So what is that? So the unsupported length between the end restraint shall not be exceed 60 times the least lateral dimension. That is the L by B more than 60. Should not be more than or equal to 60. For cantilever beam, it is L 100 B square by D. Okay. For simply supported or continuous beam shall be proportioned such that the clear distance between the lateral restraint does not exceed what? 60 times of B or 250 B square by D, whichever is less. For cantilever it is 100 B square by D. 100 B square by D, whichever is less. Okay. Next question. Question number 3. When both the slenderness ratio are less than 12, a compression member of RCC is called, right? So they are asking on the slenderness ratio. Let me see what actually the slenderness ratio. If both the slenderness ratio Lx by D or Ly by B are less than 12, the column is said to be short column. Short column fails due to crushing and long columns due to buckling, right? Okay, so this is about the crushing and buckling of the different columns. Short columns fails due to crushing, long column due to what? Buckling. Column with slenderness ratio between 3 to 12 or short column. If it is 3 to 12, it is short column. If it is 12 to 60, right, that is long column. If it is less than 3 or 3, that is we can say that is an pedestal. Okay, so that we call it an pedestal. So the answer for this question is 12. Next question. Minimum number of vertical bars in a circular column. Circular column. How many? 6. So in square, circular it is 6. In square it is 4. Right? So you have to remember this one. You can see this is a rectangular, right? You have 4 numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4. So minimum 4, and the dimension should not be more than 300 mm. Right? So for the circular it is 6. It is rectangular 4. Right? You can see this is 6. For non-rectangular cross section, we need to provide at least one reinforcement at each corner. You can see here. So you have to provide like this the reinforcement. Next question. Columns may be made of plain concrete if their effective length of the column is less than the least lateral dimension by. Columns may be made of plain concrete if their effective length of the column is less than the least dimension by how much, right? That is, we can see the effective length of column is less than 3 times the least lateral dimension. If slenderness ratio is less than 3 of the column, then the member is said to be pedestal, right? So this is the column, and we can say this is a pedestal and footing. This type of footing is very common in where heavy load, for example metro, right? For metro or flyover, right? So for those structures it is useful, pedestal or column or footing. Okay. Next question. According to IS 456, the maximum reinforcement in column is, maximum reinforcement just already I have told you, that is 6%, right? So that is a 6%. Now you can see first beam 4% of the gross section area of each compression and tension, right? Minimum reinforcement is AST minimum by BD 0.85 by Fy. So this is the first one. Second one, for column 6% of gross sectional area, and minimum is 0.8% of gross sectional area. Slab, no maximum, right? No maximum, and minimum is 0.15 for mild steel and 0.12 for HYST bars. Hanger bars in beams 0.2% of the gross sectional area of the beam. Side face reinforcement, right? This is a normal reinforcement. If you provide the reinforcement here, this is side face reinforcement. Side face reinforcement. So the side face reinforcement is 0.1% of the web area, minimum reinforcement. So shear reinforcement is 0.87 Fy ASV divided by ASV, or more than or equal to 0.4 times of B into D. Okay. Next question. Minimum number of vertical bars in a circular column, right? Minimum number of vertical bars in a circular column. What is the minimum numbers? I think they have given question answers in the wrong way. Don't worry, because they have given percentages, right? That is by mistakenly they have given, right? So that is, we can say 6% or 6 numbers. Okay, these are all not there. Percentage should not be given because they are asked in the numbers, right? So 6 numbers. Next question. A column is compression member, the effective length of which exceeds 3 times of its least lateral dimension. This applicable to, right? Effective length which exceeds the 3 times, they are saying it exceeds the 3 times. So least lateral dimension applicable to rectangular, circular, I section, circular, rectangular, circular, I section, all shapes of the section. So what is the answer for this question? So this concept is valid for RCC and RCC. We do not design the I section column because in I section column one flange is subjected to tension, flexure and loading eccentric, and concrete is poor in tension. Also in I section we get less area of compression concrete. Okay. So the answer for this question is rectangular or circular section. We always prefer column is rectangular or circular, not other than that one. Next question. Question number 9. Maximum spacing of longitudinal bars measured along the periphery of the RCC column shall not exceed, right? This one you have to remember. Let me tell you, right? So the maximum spacing of reinforcement, just in my in previous question only I have told you, for rectangular it is 300 mm, should not be more than 300 mm, right, and 16 times of that one. So you have to remember this one, right. So the answer for this question is 300 mm. Okay, so this one you have to remember. Okay, next. In all RCC column must be designed for a minimum eccentricity of, all RCC column must be designed for a minimum eccentricity of what? What is the minimum eccentricity of the column? We can say for IS 456 clause 25.4, all columns should be designed for the minimum of what? Eccentricity equal to L supported or L divided by 500 plus D by 30 or 20 mm. This is mm. Okay, this is or 20 mm, not 20 meter, 20 mm. So this is a column. Then when biaxial bending is considered, it is sufficient to ensure that eccentricity exceeds the minimum about one axis at the time. Okay, if you consider biaxial bending, right, in that condition eccentricity exceeds the minimum about one axis at the time. Unsupported length, L is a unsupported length of the column and D is a lateral dimension. Okay, so the answer for this question is L by 500 plus D by 30. Next question. L is the effective length of a column and B is a least lateral dimension. Then the column will be treated as short column if the ratio of L by B is equal to or less than. L is the effective length, right, and B is the what? Lateral dimension. Then column will be treated as short column if the ratio of L by B ratio is equal to how much? How much this one? That is, you can say, right, so this is the 12. So the column compression member may be classified into following two types, that is the short and that is a long column. The ratio of effective column length to least lateral dimension is referred as what? Slenderness ratio. What do you mean by slenderness ratio? That is the effective length to the least lateral dimension. Column with 3 to 12, right, we call it as what? That is an what? That is a short column. From 12 to 60 we call it as long column. If it is less than 3, right, that is what we call it as, that is a pedestal. Remember these points, that's it. Okay, next. A compression member is termed as column or strut if the ratio of its effective length to the least lateral dimension is more than. A compression member is termed as column or a strut if the ratio of its effective length to that one, so that is we call it as an 3. Okay, that is the column or a compression member the effective length of which exceeds 3 times the least lateral dimension. Pedestal is what? Compression member effective length of which does not exceed the 3 times the least lateral dimension. So they are asking repeated question on the pedestal, so remember these points. Next question. The minimum percentage of longitudinal reinforcement in the RCC column, minimum they are asking now. So what is the minimum? 0.6 or 0.8? Now there is confusion between these two. Have you remember? Just in few questions back only I have told you that is a 0.8%. 0.8%. So according to IS 456 clause which one? 26.5.3.1. According to that, C is the answer. Question number 14. Minimum diameter of longitudinal reinforcement in the RCC column should not be less than. Now they are asking the diameter of the column. What is the diameter of the column you will use? That is, we can say always remember minimum we can use the 12 mm, right, 12 mm according to again the clause 26.5.3.1 of IS 456. Okay, so you can refer this one, you will get the answer for the given question. Next, question number 15. RCC column is regarded as long column if the ratio of its unsupported length between end restraints to least lateral dimension is more than, right. So if their end restraints is more than, column is regarded as a long column. Long column if the ratio of its unsupported length between the end restraints to least lateral dimension, we can say that is a slenderness issue they are telling. So more than how much? Let me say a column with slenderness ratio and unsupported length and and restraint least lateral dimension less than 12 are short columns. Now in the question they have not given the 12, so I think either the question is they have to change or the options. Okay, so it may they may give grace marks or they may give the correct answer. Minimum clear cover for the main reinforcement in column. Next question is the minimum clear cover in mm for the main reinforcement according to IS 456. Okay, so according to IS 456, I can write, you can see here. So IS for longitudinal reinforcement of column, nominal cover in any case not less than 40 mm. Remember this one, 40 mm or less than the diameter of such bars. In case of columns of minimum dimension of 200 mm or under, whose reinforcing bars do not exceed 12 mm, a nominal cover of 25 mm may be used. If you are using 12 mm bar, right, so should not exceed, then you have to use the 25 mm. Okay, for footing minimum cover shall be 50 mm. For footing it is minimum cover shall be 50 mm. Nominal cover, design of depth of concrete cover provided at all type of steel reinforcement including link is called as nominal cover. Okay, next, the diameter of longitudinal bars of RCC column should never be less than diameter of longitudinal bars, maximum I have told you, right, sorry, that is the 12 mm, right, 12 mm is the minimum diameter. Next question, a reduction factor CR to load carrying capacity for a long column of effective length L and width B is applied as obtained from the following expression. How you can get this one, right? So the maximum permissible stress in a reinforced concrete column part 3 having the ratio of effective column length to least lateral dimension about 12 shall not exceed that which result from the multiplication of appropriate maximum permissible stress by the coefficient CR. Okay, so CR is a reduction coefficient, L effective, L is the effective length of the column. So now CR is equal to 1.25 minus L effective by 160 or minimum 1.25 L effective by 48 times of B. Okay, so the answer for the given question is the C. C is the answer for the given question, 1.25 minus LE by 48 times of B. Next question. A 300 mm RCC column is reinforced with the 4 bars. A 300, okay, let me see what actually they are telling. A 300 mm, a size of the column is 300 mm, is reinforced with 4 bars of 12 mm diameter. The diameter of the lateral tie is 6 mm. The pitch of the lateral tie shall be kept as. Let me see. The size of the column is 300 mm. Diameter of the reinforcement is 12 mm. So diameter of the ties is 6 mm. Okay. So the minimum of this one. So pitch is minimum of this one. Least lateral dimension 16 into times of main diameter or smallest 300 mm. Now 16 into 12 192 or 300 mm, that is 192 mm. 192 mm is the answer for the given question. Next question. The reduction coefficient of a reinforced concrete column with an effective length of the 4.8 meter and size 250 into 300 mm square. Right? Reduction coefficient. I will calculate reduction coefficient. That is the reduction coefficient for long column is 1.25 minus L effective by 48 times of B. Right? So that is the CR is equal to 1.25 minus of 4800 divided by 48 into 250. So the 0.85 is the answer for the given question. Okay, 0.85. 0.85. Next question. Limit of percentage P of longitudinal reinforcement in a column is given by. Limit of percentage of P of longitudinal reinforcement in column is given by 0.8 to 6%. 0.8 to 6%. As per IS 456 2000, right? So it one you know this is 0.8% and 6%. Next question. According to load factor method, the permissible load W on a short column reinforced with longitudinal bars and lateral stirrups. What you can say for this one? Stress in concrete into area of the concrete, right? Stress in steel to area of the steel, or stress in concrete area of concrete plus stress in steel plus area of the steel. How you can write this one, right? So we can write this one like this: load carrying capacity of short column is written by P is equal to the stress into area plus stress in concrete into area in concrete. So this is the permissible stress in concrete. So AC is the net area of the concrete, tau SC or permissible stress in steel, and AC is net area of the steel. So tau CC is given as. So this is a grade of the concrete, and M15, M20 and M25, M30, M35. So these are the value of tau CC is given by, so 130 Newton per meter for mild steel, 190 for Fe 415 and 500, right? Tau SC, this one, this value they are given already, right? 130 and 150. This is for 215, right? 250, and this is for 415 and 500. Okay. So now the question for this answer is stress in concrete into area of the concrete, stress in steel into area of the steel. For which one? The permissible load W on a short column reinforced with longitudinal bars and lateral stirrups. See, according to question the answer may changes, right? Next question. Okay. So as a short column of 20 centimeter, 1 minute. Let me take the pen. I got something problem. Okay, 1 minute. Yes. So as a short column 20 centimeter into 20 centimeter in section is reinforced with 4 bars. Okay. Let me write the, with the question I will write the what the given data so that we can solve easily. So 23, question number 23, what they given? Short column 20 centimeter into 20 centimeter, 20 into 20 centimeter section. Okay, first one. Next, reinforced with 4 bars, 4 bars. Let me draw the diagram so that you can understand easily. 4 bars, right? 20 into 20 means 200 mm into 200 mm. Okay, next, whose area of cross section is 20 square centimeter or 20 centimeter square. Area is equal to 20 centimeter square, right? If permissible compressive stress in concrete and steel are 40 and 300, permissible stress, right? Okay, let me tell you. Permissible stress, you can see in this question, permissible stress in permeability in stress in concrete, right? And this is a permissible stress in steel, tau SC, and permissible stress in concrete. Let me write the that into here, and we will calculate the load of that one. Next, so what they are asking? The safe load on the column. So you have to calculate the safe load. Let me write now how to calculate the safe load. Safe load on the column. Safe load on the column equals what? Area of the concrete. Area of concrete into permissible stress in concrete, permissible stress in concrete, right, plus area of steel, into permissible stress in steel. So this is a formula. Now all the values given, you have to put in the answer. Now area of the concrete, You have to calculate from the given data. How you have to calculate area of the concrete? Okay, I will do one thing. I will do like this. Okay. Now how will calculate area of the concrete? I will write here area of concrete. So area of concrete equals gross area of the column. Total area you have to take. Gross area of the column minus the area of the steel, this one. Let me see you. Gross area of column, gross area of column minus area of the steel, area of steel, gross area of the column minus area of the steel. Okay, now that is the 20 into 20, this area, right? 20 into 20 minus of area of the steel, they have given in centimeter only, so we will get 380 centimeter square. 380 centimeter square. So now, so for the safe load of the column, now we have to put in this formula, right? The one first part, this is second, now third, right? Third one. So now we have to calculate the safe load on the column. 1 minute. The pointer option is getting okay. So the now what is a safe load? Safe load on column. You have seen already, I have written the formula. Now I will put all the values directly. Let me see. So 380 square, 380 centimeter square into 40 kg per centimeter square plus 20 centimeter square into 300 kg per centimeter square. Okay, that will become 15,200 plus 6,000 equals to 21,200 kg. Okay, 21,200 kg is the answer for the given question. So what is the answer for this question? What is the answer now? That is a none of the above, because the option is not given. Question number 24. A column is regarded as a long column if the ratio of its effective length to lateral dimension exceeds how much? This one, this is, we can say that is what, 12 to 16. If it is 12 to 16, one more time I will write here 12 to 16, this is long column, right? So now the none of the above option, 12 to 16. If it is less than 12 or 3 to 12, what we can say, this one, this is short column. If it is less than 3, pedestal. Okay, done. Next question. If the size of the column is reduced above the floor, size of the column is reduced above the floor, the main bars of the column, what will happen to the main bars of the column? Continues up, bent inward at the floor, stops just below the floor level, and separate lap or floor. Let me tell you. So for example, what they are telling, size of column is reduced. For example, this is the column size here, and if they are reduce the column size, this is first floor and this is ground floor. So the main bars of the column, they are asking the main bars. We will continue the main bars. Bend inward at the floor level, this one also correct. Stop just below the floor level, and separate lap bars are provided, right? We have to do like this. So we have to provide the lap bar. So the all options are correct for the given question. Question number 26. As per IS Indian standard specification, minimum number of longitudinal bars provided in column shall be dash in rectangular column and dash in circular column. 4 in rectangular column, 6 in circular column. So 4 and 6 is the answer for the given question. 4 and 6. Right? Remember these 2 points. Next question. Columns may be made of plain concrete if their unsupported lengths do not exceed their least lateral dimension. How many times? Right, that is a 3 times. That is a 3 times. Remember this one also, because the least lateral dimension we can say that is a L by D ratio or unsupported length. Just already I explained in the previous questions. If you want, you can back this video and watch that one. Okay. Next, the diameter of the longitudinal bars of a column should never be less than 12 mm. Right, it is 12 mm. Next question. If the diameter of the longitudinal bars of a square column is 16 mm, square column 16 mm, diameter of lateral ties should not be less than how much? Right, let me see. According to IS 456, right, according to IS 456, what they have given, I will write the clause number also so that you can go through that one. 26.5.3.2, right. So dia of the longitudinal bar, this is a given. Dia of longitudinal bar, dia of longitudinal bar, that is 16 mm. Right. So what they are asking? They are asking the diameter of the lateral ties. So diameter of lateral ties, diameter of lateral ties is equal to question mark. Now we have some values for this one, right. Let me write first one. Lateral ties, it should be 1/4 of the what? Longitudinal maximum bar. 1/4 of the longitudinal maximum bar, or 6 mm, or 6 mm. Now we have to, using this formula, we have to calculate 1/4 of what is the maximum diameter, that is the given is 16, right. 16 equals to 4 mm. Okay, and another value is 6 mm. Now we have to take which one? We have to take 6 mm, because whichever is maximum we have to take that one, right. So the ties is equal to 6 mm. Okay, right. So this is the answer for the given question. You can, by seeing this one, you can directly put, if they repeated this question, instead of 16 mm, if they given 18 mm or 20 mm or 25 mm, you have to put here and you have to calculate the value. Whichever is greater value, you have to take that one. Next question. The diameter of the transverse reinforcement of a column should be equal to 1/4 of the diameter of the main steel rods, but not less than how much? See, this one you have to remember. Just now only I explained you, that is a 1/4 and 6 mm, right. 1/4 or 6 mm. So the answer for this question is, that is a 6 mm. Next question. The spacing of transverse reinforcement of the column is decided by following consideration. How will consider? Least lateral dimension of the beam, correct, right. 16 times, right, 16 times the diameter of the smallest longitudinal reinforcing bars in column, this one also correct. 48 times the diameter of the transverse reinforcement, this one also correct, 48 times. So all options are correct for the given question. Okay, let me give some theoretical part about this arrangement of transverse reinforcement. According to clause 26.5.3.2b of IS 456, right. So please visit here of the IS 456, you will get all the details. This is the transfer reinforcement. So the reinforced concrete compression member shall have transverse or helical reinforcement. Helical means this is a circular column, right. And if they provide like in the ring portion, like a spring, if they provide the lateral ties in a spring manner, that we call it as, that is an helical reinforcement. So dispose of that every longitudinal bar nearest to the compression phase has an effective lateral support against the buckling, right? So this theoretical part please see, and now remember the arrangement of transfer reinforcement, that is longitudinal bars are not spaced more than 75 mm. This is important point, I will write here. On either side, transfer reinforcement need only to go round corner and alternate bars for the purpose of providing effective lateral supports. Okay. So second one, if the longitudinal bar space at a distance of not exceeding 48 times the diameter, okay, the tie are effectively tied in two directions. Additional longitudinal bars in between these bars need to be tied in one direction by the open ties. Now, where the longitudinal reinforcement bars in compression member are placed more than one, effective lateral support to the longitudinal bars in inner rows may be assumed as the following. Transverse reinforcement is provided for the outermost row. No bar of the inner row is closer. Right? Let me show the diagram so that you can understand. Now, pitch and diameter of the lateral ties. Right? What is the pitch? Pitch is the transfer reinforcement shall not be more than least of the following. Least lateral dimension of the compression member 16 times the smallest diameter of the longitudinal bars or 300 mm. This one already you know. This is the least lateral dimension 16 times and 300 mm. This is for the lateral ties. So diameter of the polygon links or a lateral ties shall not be less than 1/4 of the diameter of the largest longitudinal bar. Just now only I have told you 1/4 of the longitudinal bar or 6 mm. Now helical reinforcement, you can see the helical reinforcement. Helical reinforcement shall be regular formation with the turns of the helical space, right, evenly, and its ends shall be anchored properly by providing 1.5 extra turns for the spiral bar. Okay, you can see here. So all the dimensions are in millimeter. You can see this is a hook, right? This is a hook, and these are the different you can say the different stirrups conditions, right? 1 leg, 2 leg, 3 leg, 4 legs, 6 legs, 12 legs. So we have different conditions of the legs. So according to that one, you have to decide the how many legs you require and what is the dimension, right? Next, you can see. So this is the 1 leg, 2 legged, 1 leg, 2 leg, 3 leg, 4 legs. So you have to remember this is a 48 times. So all dimensions are in mm. You can see the transfer reinforcement here, and this one also, right? So this is I can say this is 1 leg and this is another leg, and here also. So you can see by seeing sketches only you can understand that one. So these are the individual groups, transfer reinforcement like an individual groups. This is one bar, this is one bar, this is one bar, this is one bar. So this one is one group, second group, third group, and fourth group. Okay, so you have to provide like this. In which condition? Right, so that condition is depends upon the area as well as the load coming on the structure. Okay, so the next class we will on the design of footings. We will continue with that one. So we will stop class today here only, and we have completed the columns chapter because column chapter is very very limited, and it is very small chapter, right? So all the important questions I have already covered in this video. Please go through this video and please like, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe our channel Civil with Sudhir. Thanks for watching this video. Thank you and all. Have a nice day.